Brian Dennehy gained recognition through appearances in major films such as First Blood 1982 and Romeo and Juliet 1996, to name a few. He also had a background in the U.S. Marine Corps, having served from 1958 to 1963, and it was this part of his biography that later drew criticism. Over the years, Dennehy repeatedly stated he had served in Vietnam, a claim that turned out to be untrue, frustrating many veterans who had truly faced combat during the war. Unfortunately, misrepresenting military service is not rare. There are many known cases of stolen valor. Some individuals do so to collect financial benefits from the government or unsuspecting donors, while others fabricate stories to receive the admiration that comes with combat duty. With just a quick search, anyone can buy military awards or uniforms, and social platforms give people the ability to build whatever image they choose. Even before online tools were available, it was fairly easy to lie about military involvement, since verifying such claims was a challenge. And honestly, who would think someone would fabricate being a veteran? While unexpected, especially from a well-known public figure, this kind of deception has occurred. Dennehy entered the entertainment world in 1977, appearing in a couple of films and several television programs. His breakout role came in First Blood, the original entry in the Rambo series, where he played the role of Sheriff Will Teasel. The performance remains one of his most memorable and opened doors for numerous future projects. Audiences around the globe admired him, and that admiration only deepened when they heard about his military past. As for the facts of his service, Dennehy enlisted on September 15, 1959, and spent part of his deployment in Okinawa, where he played football. He was honorably discharged on June 4, 1963, serving just shy of 4 years, before the Vietnam War saw major escalation. During his time in the spotlight, Dennehy repeatedly claimed he had seen combat in Vietnam. In an interview with Playboy, he said he had completed a 5-year deployment during the war and that he'd suffered minor wounds in the line of duty. When speaking with the New York Times, he went further, stating that shrapnel had caused his injuries and that he'd sustained a concussion as well. He even spoke as if he understood the mental toll of combat, telling Playboy, "When it comes to killing, anyone who's been in battle will say it's mostly accidental. It's not something you're consciously thinking about. Most of the time, you're doing your best to stay out of direct conflict. You try to avoid getting too close to danger. So when violence occurs, it usually isn't planned. But war films suggest there's a clear narrative structure, beginning, middle, and end." That's a lie, he continued. It's complete F&G madness. Apocalypse Now captures that best. What makes it stand out even more is that it was made just a few years after the war ended. It's still the most complex take on that experience. In truth, Dennehy never served in Vietnam. He eventually admitted to fabricating the story in 1998 after Vietnam veteran B.G. Jug Burkett, known for exposing fraudulent service claims, brought the truth to light. "I lied about being in Vietnam, and I regret it," Dennehy said in a statement to the Globe. "I never wanted to take away from what the real veterans went through. I did commit stolen valor. It was a terrible thing to do. There's no excuse. I was a peacetime Marine and left the service in 1963, never having gone to Vietnam. I made up the story and couldn't back away from it. I didn't know how to come clean." According to CBS News, the closest Dennehy ever came to combat was in his role as Marine Sergeant Ned T. Frozen, chosen Coleman in the 1980 television movie A Rumor of War. Yet despite owning up to the lie, Dennehy began repeating the story less than a decade later. As the Denver Post reported, he once again told the Wall Street Journal in 2007 that he had fought in Vietnam, suggesting he didn't feel much remorse for exaggerating his military background. For the most part, aside from backlash from veterans and the families of those who truly saw combat, Dennehy's career remained mostly unaffected by his stolen valor admission. Perhaps the general public didn't grasp how serious his false claims were. Or maybe in Hollywood, serious misconduct isn't always met with consequences. Every case of stolen valor deserves equal attention, regardless of a person's fame. Such fabrications undermine the genuine courage of those who put their lives on the line for freedom and are worthy of honor and respect, whether they served in Vietnam, Korea, Iraq, or any other conflict throughout history.